Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Laureena. This video is a bit of a summary for me of my bikini season of 2024. Now, between May and September, a lot happened, but generally I only filmed and vlogged my Tenerife holiday. You know what they say, when you don't film things and when you do things in the dark, that is when the success happens. And that is exactly kind of what happened for me. I did a vlog. I hired professionals for my third place and my second place between 2022 and 2024 up to May, and then I decided to knuckle down, keep my head down and really take away that pressure of having a camera and following my footsteps kind of around as the prep went on, but instead do less vlogging and planning and talking about what was going on and more focusing on the actual task at hand, which in hindsight, you know, if I could have done both I would have done, but it was nice to just do the work and do that kind of in the dark, and that as a result has led me to win 3 gold place medals. So that's what this video is kind of about, to discuss that process and how I got there. So, you know, bikini is something that I wasn't really going to jump into in my early 20s. It wasn't something that I thought was for me, but meeting my partner and my boyfriend now led me into the kind of world of bikini preps, and I wanted to try it. I wanted to push myself, and that's what you will see in the previous videos. I'm a newbie. I don't really know what to expect. Third place in my very first show was an eye-opener. It was good to see what was possible, how shredded, how lean and how amazing the other girls looked, and what was necessary if you wanted to get those first and those second place top spots. And the other shows I did, in which I earned the second place medals in the Welsh Fitness Classic and also at the FitX in Manchester in May 2024, were also great eye-openers. They were learning curves, they were lessons, and they had to be done to get me to the point of understanding what I needed to do and what more there was to be done. Bikini is such a competitive sport, and it is something that, as much as you do things as a group and you can gain friends and you can create good relationships with other people that understand it and understand the level of intensity and the adherence and the sheer discipline that goes into it, at the end of the day when you get on stage, it is you and you alone, and you have to pose accurately, you have to stand accurately, you have to think of facial expressions, body language, your general kind of stage presence, and then be able to tick all the boxes of the other things that come into doing the shows. So I went from not having any experience to having quite a lot across 5 shows, but I can say I gained professional status in one of my shows when I got first place in September. So I want to dive straight in now with one day out, when Brad kindly did my filming and we just did kind of vlogs between us when we were in the accommodation before the show the next day, and then I had to go and get my tan, and it was all really scary and it was that big build up of apprehension and nerves and things, but I was just excited to do the do at this point, and I was just ready to get on stage. Sorry? What does that equal? I keep seeing this right number 444. And then that's one back.
Number 9? I always have the numbers up.
face all dolled up. I'm doing my own hair and makeup, and I'm going for a second layer of tan now. So I'm keeping talking to the minimum because I want to stay in that lane.
Head in the game. Peace.
So just to give you a little bit of background of what I was feeling after the May show, if you've seen the vlog, you'll know that I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted to have come second instead of first. But equally, there were things that I could improve in order to win. And there were some things that when I look back and I analyse my physique and things, like my back and my upper body felt super lean and shredded, and I don't hold a lot of body fat on my upper body, but my lower half could have been a little bit tighter, did end up a little bit soft, and it's something that looking back you have to say, you know what, I could improve, and that's what I'm going to go away and do. So from about August it was time to get on it, get your head down and get disciplined, and that's basically what I wanted to do, and I mean even more disciplined than I was previously. So I knew I had a longer run. Previous shows I've always given myself about 8 to 10 weeks. I wanted to give myself 12, 13 weeks this time, and I was more mindful of what I was doing on a daily basis. That was going to be the deciding factor of whether I felt like I'd done enough. And I wanted to go into my NFM show knowing I had done absolutely everything and there was nothing else that could be done, no stone left unturned. And that's what I always say to clients on a cutting phase. If you are doing coaching with myself, you need to be looking at all the areas and all the pieces of the puzzle. It's really no point in doing 3/4 of the things you know you need to be doing if you leave a massive quarter out, because that could be the missing piece that decides whether you have the six-pack, you look shredded, you have the toned arms when you get on that holiday or go to that wedding or go on the hen do or whatever it is that you're doing with me. And that's why it's really important to be as disciplined as you can be, because at the end of the day you're the only one that you're going to be letting down for yourself, and that's what I think is really important. Also, leading on from this, when I'm talking about how the prep went and how I found it, I enjoyed the break and I was around a maintenance number of calories. I kept my protein high, my carbs and my fats were moderate, but it was during this time that I was allowing my body to rest and recover, and this is up to the end of August. The next point for me was to slowly drop calories to a point where I was in a cutting phase and I was gradually getting leaner and ready to be stage ready. So over time, obviously, we've got to manipulate calories. Brad Howarth was my coach. It's funny saying his full name like that, but in case you don't know, you can find him on Instagram and he's my coach, and we work together. We have the PowerFit Academy business. But basically he is excellent at manipulating calories and things in order to make sure you are enjoying what you eat. And just because we're training program meal plans basically, because it is really easy to just look at calories, but when you start to break it down and you look at macros, it is a whole nother ball game. And that's what doing preps actually makes you think more about. Your fats to keep you full for longer, your carbs to help you before your workouts, how much protein to have, because your protein might eventually have to come down when you're doing a bikini prep. These are all little obstacles that we faced and had to overcome. And then alongside that, I found that my cycle was always bob on. So this meant that my menstrual cycle, believe it or not, actually came right the week before the show. It's mad to think, because at the time I was literally so worried that it was going to come at the time, and I was panicking. I was thinking, if this happens, is this going to make or break me succeeding on the day? And in the end it made it, because it shows that if your body is in check and you can still have a period and you can have a menstrual cycle leading into a show, then your food and your nutrition and the way you're managing your training, you're managing your recovery, you're still going balls to the wall on your sessions to pretty much 1 week out, and then you have to start to take that pull back, and that rest and recovery can sometimes bring on a period, and that's kind of what happened for me. So it's an interesting one, and it is really good to be able to share this with you and give you the background of what happened, because it's really easy to see a couple of pictures on Instagram. It's really easy to just look at someone's social media and see a 2-second snapshot of an end result. But there was a lot of hard work that went into it, and there was a lot of effort and difficulties along the way, as well as meals, and my family loves to get together and there's always something going on at least once a month. So the idea of having to miss meals or take prepared food or just have the most plain options on the menu can get really tough. and you just want to have the food there, and you just want to be a part of the day for whatever occasion it is, and you just have to stay in your own lane and know that what you're doing is going to make it all worthwhile. Your end goal is more important than that 2 seconds of I feel like I should just have everything and have the sauce. Anyway, it pays off. So I'm going to dive in now. I'm going to show you the build up, and you'll be able to see some stage content of me at the NFM show in Warrington. This was held, and then I'll leave you to see what I won, and it all comes up in the next part of the video.
Sick.
Nice little stage, isn't it?
Let's go. Nice. Yes, Laureena, nice. Looking good. Yes, Laureena.
Quarter to your right.
Yes, Laureena. Nice, looking good. Shoulder back.
Quarter to your right.
Nice, looking good. Let's work now.
Quarter to right, finish the front.
Nice, 144.
150, please switch. 150, 139, please switch. Center girls, 122, 144, please switch. The best pose award first. Winner of the best pose award is 144 Laureena.
Yes. Well done. Looking good. Show 'em.
Thank you, Laureena. Thank you, lad. Okay, we go straight into the results. In third place is 139.
Is 122 Daniel
My mum's so cute. They're in the background.
And your winner of the category is 144.
Yes. Well done.
Peter, congratulations.
Well done, Laureena.
Janelle, Rachel, and Lucy as they exit the stage. Give a round of applause, please.
Well done, Ben.
For Lucy, Rachel, and Janelle as they leave the stage. Well done, ladies.
You don't know how happy I was to hear my name at that point. I was literally crying on stage, ugly crying, and you'll hear me say that in a minute in the video. I was absolutely over the moon, but so overwhelmed with emotion, it was untrue. And it literally makes me well up thinking about it now. Oh. Crazy, but so rewarding.
Laureena! You just won.
Oh gosh.
You're beautiful. So Laureena's just got off stage and won first place in Bikini Tall. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. She got pro status. She is a pro.
Thank you so
Are you
much.
coming back for the pro show?
Yes, definitely. It'd be amazing, and I don't want to miss it.
So we will see you back at the pro show.
Thank you for
Well
having me.
done.
I'm so happy. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
I'm so proud of her. She's done amazing.
She couldn't believe it then.
Can't walk too fast.
You got baby instant.
Oh, she started getting upset.
So it was a dream come true, and it felt really nice to show myself what I'm capable of. I think it's really important that when you put your mind to something and you achieve it, that you reward yourself and you do feel proud of yourself, because it's quite easy in the society that we live that even when you achieve great things, you almost feel guilty and sometimes feel like you can't be proud of yourself. At least that's how I felt in the past. I think it's really important that you do congratulate yourself and you do be proud of yourself, and it's not even being necessarily like big-headed or anything like that. It's just saying, you know what, I feel confident and self-confident enough to say that. So I think that's really important. Anyway, the last thing I want to show you is my final show of the season. So this was held in Wigan. It was a Two Bros Vitae Plant Classic, so it was a naturals bikini show. I am a natural bikini competitor, and this was the additional show that I wanted to add at the end of the year, which meant that I did 3 shows in total in 2024, and it was the most I'd ever done in 1 year. I was used to doing 1 show a year. I went from 1 show in 2022, 1 show in 2023 to 3 shows in 2024. I fully ramped everything up in terms of, like I said, my discipline, my adherence, my time frame, my attention to detail, sticking to it more or less 9 out of 10 every day, or 10 out of 10 every day in terms of adherence, rather than giving myself like a 6 one day and a 7 or an 8 the next, which I've done in previous shows, and not giving it my 100% effort, or not hit everything down to a T with weighing foods and things. And if you're not meticulous enough, then that can be a reason you don't end up winning, and that's what I wasn't going to let happen this time. So the thing for me was, once I'd reached that goal point, I think I took my foot off the gas a little bit. Now my coach wanted me to be even more on it and just have like 1 day off and then go straight back into the prep mode, and it took me about a week to come out of this more relaxed mindset, which I know I deserved, based on how hard I'd worked from March earlier that year, pretty much throughout the whole year minus 1 holiday. But it took me a little bit longer to get back into the mindset of, you've got 1 more show yet, you need to still be focused, you don't want to come in worse than you did in your last show, you don't want to drop from first place, because obviously that's something that people do have to accept in shows, and that's not what I wanted to happen. So after the first week of relaxing and really just having some downtime, only training maybe twice, I picked up the pace again, and I had 3 weeks where I gave it maybe 8 out of 10 effort. as much as I possibly could. So that being said, again, I didn't do much vlogging around the time, and there's just a couple of videos that I've put together showing you a little bit about how it kind of unfolded. I was against one other girl in my class, and you'll see what happened there on stage when it comes on, but I did end up getting first place there. And then out of the larger group of girls in the overall class, my glutes and my hamstrings and my legs just weren't tight enough. So by that I mean the muscle tissue wasn't showing enough, and I might have carried a little bit of extra water on the day. I know in the back I was feeling a little bit more conscious, and I had more like extra bits of food and things that I probably didn't need to eat, but I was panicking a little bit. Had an extra bit of vodka, because you have vodka backstage sometimes, and my coach had said, you know, this is enough, you don't need this much, you need to kind of like just rest now and chill, because that can bring you best luck. But unfortunately I had a flap, I had a panic, and I'm just saying this to you now because as much as I'm like happy that I got another first place at that show, was it the best I could have done at that show in terms of my overall look and how I felt I had done? Probably not. I could probably have given an extra 100% at least on about a week of that time frame. But when you've only got 3 to 4 weeks from one show to the final show, it's quite intense, because you can sometimes take your foot off the gas, and that's just a learning curve for me. I'm proud of it. It's amazing that I achieved that on the day. And will I ever do bikini again? Who knows? There's a good chance that I will compete again, but it's nice to have some time away from competing and putting that pressure on myself in the realms of fitness, because I've got other plans and other things I'd like to achieve. And anyone that's been following me for a long time will know that music is still very much at the heart of what I do. I've released 3 singles so far, and there's no stopping anytime soon in terms of my music plans. But to give that my 110% effort, I need to give it more time, and it's impossible to try and put myself in 2 halves. You know, doing a bikini prep and doing more music things that I want to do, whether it's events, whether it's singing live, whether it's gigs. It's just impossible to do it once. You just can't do them both. And plus, the leaner you get and the show lean that you have to get to, I started getting really conscious of my face more than anything. And obviously your body looks great, you've got a lean physique and you have to be a certain way, but personally for me, I don't like my show face. I don't like the kind of leanness that my jaw has to go in, and all that sort of thing is not for me. So I can't do both. But anyway, I'll wrap up with the end of this with this next part, and you can just see how that show unfolded. But thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying seeing my journey along both sides of music and fitness, and stay tuned for more content coming soon. Peace. Shoulder shots. Bottoms up.
Front pose. Thank you, ladies. Great job.
Thank you, ladies.
Gentile Open Class G winner, Laureena.
Yes, Laureena.